Hello, dear brothers and sisters. The Glastonbury TV channel is greeting you. Today we will speak about spiritual revolution. But we just had a conversation about the contemporary situation in Europe and in this country, that lots of concern about immigrants and this policy. And having this conversation, we started to get emotional. Even our brothers and sisters who are dedicated Cathars, who keep peace, who control their thoughts, who do certain practices, they got emotional. They started to transmit images and thoughts they got from media, watching different channels and Facebook pages. So we would like to make you aware not to watch anything except the Glastonbury TV channel, because only this channel can acknowledge you for everything you need, for all topics you are interested. So, with me today, Sister Mirofora, and voila, Sister Mirofora.
Hello.
Yeah, and we'll speak about spiritual revolution, which is probably the hardest topic to speak about, because we as idealists, as a very dedicated people out of practical way of thinking, because we are not practical at all, we are total idealists, we can express ourselves only to those who are like us, who are idealists. So if you, dear viewer, is not such a person, you better become as fast as possible idealist. Just leave your practical common sense somewhere behind and turn to the idealistic paradigm. I have a question, dear sisters. Speaking about revolution and spiritual revolution in particular, what is it about? Is the situation in the world is such that the revolution is really needed? Maybe we are okay. Why to be concerned? Why should we speak about revolution at all? Maybe there is no need. Maybe the world is developing and changing in evolutionary way.
I don't think so. I just spent some time with good people of this land. I stayed with them in their homes. They worked hard their whole lives to put food on the table, to educate their children. They did everything right. They didn't commit any crimes. They were good people. But I saw them in a spiritual way, that they were in a gulag concentration camp, and that it was very hard for them to continue in this world. Right now it's very difficult even to survive in this world. So revolution is completely necessary. And it's only a spiritual revolution that will help us. So if you want to solve the problems in our land, you need to be on the winning side. And this revolution, it will not fail, because good always conquers evil in this world. And it's true.
So maybe we shall not speak about revolution. Maybe we shall speak about some initiatives, and why we speak about spiritual revolution. Because we are not socialists, we are not communists, we are not radicals. We don't touch social sphere at all. It's not a matter of our concern, as we believe that there is a hierarchy, and at the top position of this hierarchy there is spirit, and everything starts with spirit. The spirit determines the way of the direction of our life. Then it's, we could say, a cultural sphere, because people of culture, they are probably most sensitive among us. They first react on some needs, problems, crises, etc. And then there is social level of communication, of practical realization of the spirit, and cultural forecast, I would say, as a real person of culture, real artist has to be a prophet, at least little bit has to foresee something which is going to happen, in bad or good sense. And at the bottom, at the very bottom of this hierarchy, which we, how do we think, is political level. So policy and politics actually is the final result of all that hierarchy. So it's the final external circle. And investing your efforts in political changes has no sense, because so many projects were failed just because they missed or messed up this hierarchy. They invested, like young souls, they invested their hopes, and they sacrifice their time and money and energy in some political projects which brought no fruits. As we have to agree that our world didn't change at all, even became worse, even became more rational, more egoistic, more cruel, more if the cruelty was in the past, but there was nobility on the other side. If there were evil people in the past, but there were saints and holy people, so the balance was there. And now we don't have alternative. We don't have this holiness, this righteousness on the other side. So unbalanced the world is. And coming back to this hierarchy, so we don't have to speak about political issue at all, just ignore it, it doesn't matter. We have to speak very little about social issue, about social relations, social projects, also very little, and only in a way to make people aware of so-called social engineering, that there is a lot of that elites, they use social engineering and media technologies, how to manipulate with people. And so being involved in this social level, you will lose because you don't have enough strength and power and intelligence to struggle against organized evil groups. So what we have to speak about is cultural level. So we need artists. We need artists aka prophets. Because if you an artist like this postmodern culture, it is not a culture at all. There is no prophecy in it. There is no life in it. There is no voice of eternity in it. There is no breakthrough of eternity to this world. And this what artist has to be a prophet of the transcendental existence to this world. And what we surely have to speak about is spirit. And so revolution, to our understanding, means that we have to change the spirit on the top of this hierarchy. As we believe that few thousand years, the wrong spirit is based on the top of this hierarchy. The evil spirit, or the mixed spirit with a lot of evil in it, is on the top of this hierarchy, which means that this spirit acts or influences on the cultural level. People of culture, they produce mixed or evil paradigms, and they are being realized in evil way, and this is the world we live in. So revolution will start when we put the true spirit on the top of this pyramid, and this spirit, of course, is all good, all holy spirit, all holy, not Spiritus Sanctus, but all holy spirit, spirit of absolute holiness, spirit of absolute goodness, spirit of absolute mercy, absolute wisdom, absolute beauty. And when we put this spirit on the top of paradigm, or better, if we already do this and construct the alternative hierarchy, alternative space of living, alternative civilization, and when we start to live within this civilization, within this paradigm, people from the old paradigm, from the exhausted paradigm, exhausted civilization, would join our own. Do you agree? Or maybe you have different thoughts?
Yeah, they call it something like the 100th monkey effect. Like it takes a few people to start something, and then the rest will follow. And it will take just a small number of young pioneers to break through to this new reality, and then everyone else will join. And they will say, how did you do it? How can we be free from all problems in this world? And they will show.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that we need so much spiritual revolution, and a lot of spirits rule in this world, and there's not really good spirits push people to begin wars, to make genocide in the world, and we need to choose the all good spirit, spirit of absolute good, and it demands inner revolution. It demands heroic deed of the soul, and but it brings real happiness, and externally we can't change the world with some inner revolutions, political methods, but only with inner kindness, inner heroic deed to change ourselves, so we can help people in this world.
Yes, because this inner revolution it will win. Whenever we transfigure our own internals, then the world around us changes. So if you want to change the world, we invite you, come to our next event in Glastonbury. It will be a public talk about this revolution of goodness. And it will be on the 11th of February at the Isle of Avalon Foundation in the heart of Glastonbury. It will start at 7 p.m. and it will last for about an hour, and we'll have questions afterwards if you would like to come along.
And of course, spiritual dimension, the space of the spirit is perfect itself, is absolutely perfect. But this world isn't. And to transmit the perfect spirit into this world means that we need the living vessels of that spirit. We need people who will keep this perfect spirit, or spiritual keepers, keepers of the sphere of that perfect spirit. We need holy people. We need holy saints. We forgot that we need them. We forgot that this formula, this strict rule that holy people come only to those who are thirsty for them, desperately thirsty for them. So basically, we have to formulate our desire, because medias, and that's why we make you aware not to watch anything except the Glastonbury TV channel. So media, they work on destruction of our focus. They bombard us with lots of different and often opposite messages, very fast and very radical from different edges. So we can't focus, we can't formulate our point of view, we can't formulate even our desire. What do we want? What do we want? Ask average person, what do you want? I want to be happy. What does it mean for you to be happy? Can you explain? And here you will find a problem that not many people can actually formulate their happiness. What does mean happiness? And of course, we are not speaking about happiness of stomach, which is not very noble and not very perspective. The happiness of stomach is a happiness of bacteria. Bacteria is the most happy creature. And if we will think about only to fill our stomach and about evolution only in a sense of happiness of the stomach, we will not survive, because we as humans have less mechanisms for surviving compared to those bacteria. They have more chances to get adapted to evolution, to changes, they can live in a very harsh environment. Us humans not. it means that to invest our efforts, our thoughts, and creativity in a constructing of society of well-fed people senseless. We have to invest our efforts, our creativity, our thoughts into constructing of civilization of spirit, where spirit will be evaluated again as it used to be in ancient civilization, much more happier civilization, much more blissful civilization, where people lived much more noble life and happier life. And we have lack of this spirit. The material civilization dominates, and it has to be changed, and only idealists can do it. Only dedicated, zealous, dedicated knights and maidens can do it, who will sacrifice their flesh and bones, sacrifice the happiness of their own stomachs in purpose to enrich, to multiply the sphere of spirit.
Yes, because there was a time on the earth when the whole world was very different, and during the time of King Arthur, Mary Magdalene, the whole world was fed by the grace of the Holy Grail, and the Grail was kept here in Albion, on this land, and it should be returned. And when it does, all people will be free again, and they will be happy. There will be true democracy. There will be peace.
Yeah, and why it's so important to be surrounded by good people, absolutely good people, because this world gives other ideals, virtues that you must betray to be profitable, you must earn money to live for yourself, for your profit, and the world doesn't appreciate real good things like sacrifice of love, sacrifice of good. And for example, if when you are surrounded by 100 of people who will tell you it's better to betray, don't be good, what will you do? Will you have power to reject them, their ideals? Would you have power to be kind and good till the end, to be righteous man? And we, as the Cathars, we learn in our communities, in our spiritual schools, to affirm kindness in our life and be righteous till the end, in spite of everything. And because holy people, really good people, they are victors, and they don't fail in the spiritual battles. They win every time with the help of brotherhood, of our martyrs of love who sacrificed and who witnessed their love, the strength of good.
So, if you share same views with us, if you are thirsty for pure and perfect spirit, and if you have a desire to change the contemporary paradigm and to bring love, goodness, unworldly nobility in this world, come to our talk on the 11th of February in Glastonbury. You can find it on our Facebook page. And please don't forget to subscribe to the Cathar Temple, to our regular Glastonbury TV channel live streams, because only here in this channel you can find information which you desperately need, and don't watch anything else but the Glastonbury TV channel. Also, the YouTube channel, the Cathars, is available for your pleasure, for your joy, my beloved brother and sister. And see you next time. Ami.